very rude not to accept the drink, so there you go.
Thanks. Oh, this is nice and cool.
How unprofessional. This guy's drinking on set. What are you gonna do with a guy like this? Nah, just kidding.
It's the fake movie beer.
Nice. And I see, for all the newbies out there, you're trying to hide the label.
Oh, sorry. You're not sponsored?
I tried once and they sent my package back.
I drank too early? Is that what happened?
Okay, so I'm Danny Malin. I'm with my hombre here, Frank Mars. We didn't touch base on it. Tell me a little more about who you are.
Oh my god, a little more.
Really? Well, actually, because you said a few of the things that you enjoy doing, but you're an all-around artist in many shapes and forms. What else do you do?
Besides acting?
Yeah.
I produce music, like not in any sort of professional capacity. Like everything that allows me to create, I do. It's just fun for me. It's gratifying, you know. It's just important for me to create. So yeah, I like to make music. I make any kind of music. I'll make like one day I just feel like making orchestral music, or the other day I want to make electronic music like EDM. From that I like to DJ and stuff like that. So music is definitely an interest of mine. And also sometimes I don't feel like making music. Sometimes I just feel like painting. So I'll paint. So I paint as well. Sometimes I have the the privilege of people buying canvases that I make, so that's always helpful, you know, because you can't always book as an actor. So you know, in between there, you can make a little bit of money as an artist is really, really a privilege. So yeah, is that enough?
Well, you're done talking about yourself? I mean, I give the guy 30 seconds and he takes 2 minutes.
He didn't say 30 seconds.
One of the important things I always like to touch on, and it may seem redundant, but everybody has their story on how they met, who they've met, where have they gotten because of people they meet. And we go back about almost 5 years.
Is it really 5 years?
Yeah.
Oh.
2014 or 15.
I remember.
So we were on set.
Oh, God.
We were actually doing background work on Bad Santa 2.
Yeah.
And I remember I was sort of in a clique group of some people, and there was that one obnoxious guy that was funny and entertaining, but after a while, just like, oh man, I can't be around this guy anymore. He's sucking my energy. And then you and I both kind of just bumped into each other, and we ended up having a connection and spending more time together because it was like a 3-day continuity.
Yeah, overnight shoots in the winter outside.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
And
I have to say, the production actually did a really good job. They were giving us hand warmers. Yeah, I really I was going in there, I'm like, oh man, we're gonna be freezing. But they actually did a really good job bringing everybody inside between shots. Like I gotta say, I was impressed with that. They actually put in effort to make sure that we were comfortable, which was really, really awesome.
Yep. That's not always available. So when you do get that treatment, it's nice.
Yeah, honestly, I saw overnight shoot outside in January. I went in there going like, oh, this is probably going to be one of the more difficult shoots, and definitely was not. It was. It didn't feel like it was outside, and like I don't know. It went well. I don't know. But anyway, I digress. Sorry.
And I shared a story that I had in mind, and you seemed to show a lot of interest.
Yeah.
And then.
And that was. I promised.
I promised. Yeah. More talking and more doing. We ended up filming that. I think it had to. Yeah, it was a few months later because that was sort of maybe.
That was like January. It was like a January shoot. And we shot like what, in April?
Yeah, right at the cuff of the snow melting.
Like I take my work really seriously, and I show up on set, and I'm often very quiet. Not because I don't want to talk to anybody, but I just try to be respectful of everyone's work, everyone's space, everyone's mindset. And so I'm often very reserved, very, very reserved. And a little bit something that I think about is like, man, I just really hope that people don't think that I'm just a dick, you know, like I just show up and I don't want to talk to anybody, and I'm just like, it's really not that at all. I'm actually just trying to make sure that everybody else is comfortable, that everybody else has their time and space to think. And I'm happy to hear that in some regard you found that I was, I can't recall how you described it, but it made me think of that, you know. I'm happy to hear that.
I'll replay what I said and put it in there.
Yeah, there you go.
What haven't you played that you'd be excited to play?
A lead. No, I've played leads in like short films and stuff, but you know, like or like a recurring role. There you go. That's a good answer. A recurring role on like a show that comes to Montreal. I would love that. I haven't had a recurring role yet on a TV series. That'd be awesome. As far as like types of roles, like, you know, dramatic, comedic, and stuff like that, like I'm fairly happy with where I've been. I'm somebody that tends to lean more towards dramatic roles. I don't, you know, I don't mind comedic roles, but I don't think it's something I'm casted in regularly. Yeah, a recurring would be nice.
So, because that's a thing too, like actors always say, I don't want to play that role because it's going to play for 8 years and then that's the only thing I'll ever be known for. But I mean, would you take that risk?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's something that interests me from the start, I don't look at a set period of time that it's going to shoot and let that factor into any kind of decision. You know, if the role is interesting to me, whether it shoots 1 day or 3 years, you know, that's all the same. If it's interesting to you, I think the time shouldn't really matter. Like, I just auditioned for a film that is specifically going to take shooting periods over 3 years, and to me, it's not like a commitment that I don't want to take. It's more like, oh, that's actually like a really interesting experience to go back and film some more, you know, when things have changed and other characters have changed and things like that. Definitely not like a downside for me, no way.
And just you personally going back, I don't even know the timeline, but you've transformed your body completely, going from one, not necessarily a stereotype, but look, to what you are now. And my question is, how far are you willing to go to transform yourself for roles like Jared Leto does and Christian Bale?
It has to be safe, you know. I know that some of the things that some of those guys did was maybe on the side of unsafe, you know. But I would definitely put on or lose weight for a role. But you know, within, you know, it's important to stay healthy as well, you know, right? You want to hopefully have a long career, and you also want to live a long, healthy life. So, you know, obviously anything that would put my health at risk, maybe I'd be more like, I wouldn't be as into it. But extreme changes, as long as it's done safely and in a healthy way, I would absolutely be down for it. I mean, I've already done it, like you mentioned, for my acting career. I was a tall, extremely lanky guy, and I just felt like that didn't work for me casting wise, so I decided to make a change. But you know, that was a change that took years and years and years of work, and that was something that was important to me from the start, is to, if I'm gonna go into the gym and change myself, I want to do it in a healthy way, in a way that I won't injure myself. And you can't rush these things, right? So yeah, I'd be willing to go to extremes. After all this work, though, it would be hard to lose it all again, you know, to go back to where I was maybe 5 or 6 years ago. But I would do it, because what's important is to tell a story, and if you can do something that tells that story in an interesting and captivating way, you should definitely do it. Yeah.
So the most serious question of all, how much would you show your doink for on camera?
You know this, Danny. I'm somebody that is very particular about on-screen, just sexual nature in general. I'm somebody, when I see a film and there's just a nude love scene that doesn't push the story forward, like everything has to push the story forward. To me, anyway, that's the way I see storytelling. It's like that whole concept with Chekhov's gun, you know, like if you're going to introduce a gun, it has to go off And to me, what I take from that is, if you're going to introduce something in a story, it has to move it forward. Like, you can't have something that's useless. And for me, I feel like when I'm watching a scene where, you know, you see excessive nudity and it doesn't push the story forward in any way, it makes me uncomfortable, because it just feels like I'm prying into someone's personal life, or it just doesn't feel right to me. It takes me out of the experience. Whereas I feel like you can do these types of things in a very tasteful way that pushes the story forward. So a very quick example, like you're using the jokingly sort of, you know, showing your dong on camera and how much money. But I can't remember which film it was, but it was Viggo Mortensen who got into a fight in a bathhouse. And at first, in the beginning of the scene, he has a towel, and eventually he's literally fighting for his life against these guys that are trying to stab him and kill him. And at one point, the towel falls off, and sure, you see everything, but that's not what the scene is about. It's not a scene to show nudity. It's not about that at all. It's part of the scene, and it pushes the story forward, and it showed it in such a raw way that I found was captivating. You know, that's what I'm more into when it comes to scenes of that type. You know, it has to be interesting for the film, and not just, hey, let's just have some nudity in there because, you know, why not? Just for fun. Or I'm just not that type of performer, and I'm also not that type of a consumer when it comes to a film.
So the answer is yes, it's negotiable.
I don't think I ever see myself retiring, really, you know? Like, acting is just one of those jobs where, do you really ever retire? Do you ever really need to?
And for the record, he's a few gulps ahead of me, so just want to point that
out. Whoa, let's take it easy here. We can't zoom in, but that's like one sip, okay? Take it easy. But, you know, there's always going to be stories for you as a 30-year-old actor, as a 40-year-old actor, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 even. I mean, as long as you're healthy enough to be able to keep up with a professional set, you know, because there are some physical requirements, why retire? You know, your job as an actor is to experience life and to portray life. And so you're going to have experiences when you're 80 that you didn't have when you're 20, that is going to change the way you tell a story through acting, you know. But as far as an end game, like, I just, you know, that's the dream, to make a living off of this, you know. I don't necessarily care for being a millionaire, but if I can pay my mortgage and be happy and know that I'm at least getting steady enough work that I'm able to make a living off of this, which is currently almost sort of where I'm at. I can't even describe to you the happiness that is. It's just, you're doing what you really want to do, you know. And when people ask you, okay, what do you do? You know, it used to be that I'd be like, oh, well, I work here, but on the side I'm an actor. And it's just really gratifying to be able to say, I'm an actor. And that's literally what I do. Right now I don't have, you know, something else that I need to be doing to push that. I can honestly say it, and I'm already definitely one full foot into that end game, in a sense. Yeah.
So to summarize, he'll show his doink for $1 million and retire. That's what I got from that.
There you go. And drink faster than Danny.
Yes. It's been a pleasure. I wish you tremendous success.
Thank you.
Thank you for your loyalty and passion.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you very much.